If you live in New Hampshire and you're looking for a dog trainer, you know there are options pretty much everywhere, from the seacoast all the way up to the White Mountains. So today, we're going to help you figure out how to find the perfect one for you and your dog.
So, how do you find that perfect training partner? You know, the one who really gets your dog's personality and what you're trying to achieve as a family. With so many choices out there, it can be tough to know where to even start. Let's walk through it. We're going to break this down into 5 simple steps. First, we'll cover where to even begin your search. Then, we'll help you figure out what you actually need and how to pick the right training style. After that, we'll cover the really key questions you need to ask any potential trainer, and finally, we'll talk about how to put all those new skills to work right here in New Hampshire.
All right, first up, starting your search. Let's talk about what makes finding a trainer here in the Granite State a little bit different.
Okay, so here's the most important thing to know right off the bat. New Hampshire doesn't have any kind of official state licensing for dog trainers. Now, that's not a bad thing. It just means that you, as the dog owner, are really in the driver's seat. It puts all the focus on what really matters: a trainer's actual qualifications, the methods they use, and their reputation.
So once you know what to look for, the next step is to get really clear on your own goals. It's all about figuring out what your specific training needs are.
You know, most training needs really fall into 2 main buckets. On one side, you've got puppy training. That's all about building that great foundation: socialization, house training, basic manners. On the other side, there's behavior modification. This is for tackling more specific issues, things like fear, reactivity around other dogs, or separation anxiety. Knowing which category you fall into is a huge first step.
And how do you actually want that training to happen? Well, you've got plenty of options to fit your lifestyle. Group classes are awesome for practicing around other dogs and people. Private lessons or in-home training give you that one-on-one, totally customized approach. Then there's day training, or even board and train programs for a more immersive experience.
So you know your goals, you've thought about the format you'd prefer. Now we can get into choosing the right method. And that really means understanding a trainer's credentials and, of course, the costs.
You're going to see a lot of acronyms out there, so let's clear up a really common one: CPDT-KA. This basically means that a trainer has passed a pretty tough standardized test on things like how dogs learn, training equipment, and professional ethics. It's a solid certification that shows they've put in the work to meet professional standards.
And here's another one you'll likely run into. A KPA CTP has gone through a really intensive, hands-on program that's all about positive reinforcement. This certification is a great indicator that the trainer is skilled in building a strong, trusting relationship with your dog, which honestly just makes learning so much faster and more fun for everyone involved.
And hey, if you're dealing with more complex challenges, maybe some serious fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for even more advanced certifications. Things like IABC, CBDC, or CBC-CKA show that a trainer has specialized expertise in handling those tougher behavioral issues.
Okay, so what should you plan on spending? Well, here in New Hampshire, you can see a typical 6-week group class might cost you a couple $100. A single private lesson could be around $100 to $200. And on the higher end, a full board and train program is a much bigger investment. Seeing these ranges helps you set a budget and know what to expect.
All right, now for what might be the most important part: the questions you should be asking. Think of this as your personal checklist for when you're talking to a potential trainer.
Honestly, these 5 questions will tell you pretty much everything you need to know. You want clear, confident answers about their methods, their qualifications, and exactly how they'll tailor a plan specifically for your dog. And you definitely need to know how you'll both measure success and what the all-in cost is going to be. A good, professional trainer will be happy to answer all of these. Okay, last section. Let's bring it all home and talk about what training in New Hampshire is really about, which is taking all those new skills and putting them to work in the real world.
Because the whole point of training isn't just to have a dog who behaves perfectly in your house. A really great trainer in New Hampshire is going to help you prepare your dog for life in New Hampshire. That means handling a busy hiking trail during leaf peeping season, navigating a crowded sidewalk in Portsmouth in the summer, or just having a nice, calm walk around your own neighborhood.
You can really think of the whole state as your training ground. You can practice those leash skills on the trails at Potawatomi or White Lake, or you can work on polite greetings with other dogs at the parks in Manchester or Portsmouth. These are fantastic places to put your lessons into action.
Just one quick but really important tip: be prepared. Here in New Hampshire, leash laws are handled town by town, so the rules in one place might be totally different from the town next door. It's always a good idea to do a quick check of the local rules before you head out somewhere new. At the end of the day, this is what it all comes down to. There's no magic wand. Success really comes from that combination of doing your homework to find the right person, using humane methods, and then just putting in the time to practice consistently in the world that you and your dog actually live in.
And that's really why all this matters. Having a well-trained dog isn't just about them following commands, it's about freedom for both of you. It's about being able to enjoy a hike without being stressed out, being able to bring your dog to a friend's house without worrying, and just having a calm, happy companion with you through every single beautiful New Hampshire season. We wish you the very best of luck on your training journey.